new normal big life.
Hey, Wellness Warriors. Today we're unmasking food villains, harmful ingredients in U.S. foods that Europe and Canada banned. Why? They're linked to cancer, hormone chaos, and kids' behavior meltdowns. We're talking about the dirty dozen food ingredients, a list of 12 nasty ingredients to avoid, how they might show up on a product label, and what they could do to your body or your child's body. Let's dive in. Hi, friends. Welcome to the New Normal Big Life podcast. We bring you natural news and stories about nature that we hope will inspire you to get outside and adventure, along with a step-by-step plan to help you practice what you learn and create your own new normal and live the biggest life you can dream. I'm your host, Antoinette Lee, the Wellness Warrior. What's really in your food? You might be shocked. Picture this. You're in a grocery store grabbing your go-to cereal or soda, thinking it's all good because it's approved in air quotes. But here's the twist. Some ingredients in your favorite snack could secretly harm you or your kids. In the U.S., food makers slip in chemicals banned in Europe and Canada, and they don't always list them clearly. These dirty dozen food villains could mess with your health. Spotting them takes more than a quick glance at the ingredients list. Let's uncover the truth and learn how to fight back. So, why do food ingredients matter? Well, the US plays by different rules than Europe and Canada. Over there, stuff like potassium bromate tied to cancer and red dye number 3, a possible kid hyperactivity trigger, are off limits. Although red dye number 3 is now banned in America, you can still find this ingredient on store shelves because there's a planned phase out of red dye number 3 and 8 additional synthetic dyes by 2026. In America, these harmful ingredients are in your bread and candy. The FDA has a loophole called GRAS, G-R-A-S, generally recognized as safe, letting companies decide what's okay without tough checks. It's up to us consumers to outsmart the system, but there's hope on the horizon. The generally recognized as safe or GRAS loophole refers to a provision in U.S. food safety regulations that allows companies to independently determine whether a food ingredient or a new food ingredient is safe without requiring mandatory review or approval from the Food and Drug Administration or the FDA. To understand this, let's break it down. Here's some background on GRAS. The generally recognized as safe designation was established under the 1958 Food Additives Amendment to the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. It exempts substances from the rigorous FDA pre-market approval process for food additives if they're generally recognized among qualified experts as having been adequately shown to be safe under the conditions of its intended use. Originally, this applied to common ingredients like salt, sugar, or vinegar, substances with a long history of safe use. The FDA maintained a formal GRAS affirmation process until 1997, where companies could voluntarily submit safety data for FDA review. However, in 1997, the agency shifted to a voluntary GRAS notification system, allowing companies to notify the FDA of their GRAS determinations, which the FDA could then review and respond to with a, quote, no objection letter, or not. But here's the loophole. The loophole emerges because this notification process isn't mandatory. Companies can conduct their own safety assessments, often relying on internal or paid hired experts who are completely objective, I'm sure. These hired or internal experts declare an ingredient GRAS and introduce it into the food supply without it ever informing the FDA. This self-affirmed GRAS pathway means no mandatory transparency. The FDA and the public may not even know a new ingredient is added to food products. There's limited oversight. The FDA only reviews GRAS determinations if companies voluntarily submit them. And even then, it doesn't approve them. It simply decides whether to object. There's potential conflicts of interest. Safety assessments might be conducted by experts paid by the company or who are already employees of the company, raising questions about impartiality. So, what's the scale and concerns with the GRAS loophole? Well, estimates suggest thousands of ingredients have entered the U.S. food supply through this self-affirmed GRAS route. A 2017 study by the Natural Resources Defense Council, the NRDC, estimated that around 1,000 substances were secretly added without FDA knowledge. Though the exact number is uncertain, some companies aren't required to disclose them. Critics include new Health and Human Services HHS Secretary RFK Jr. argued this lack of oversight allows potentially unsafe chemicals, sometimes with minimal or no publicly available safety data, into foods, contributing to the health issues like chronic disease. There's finally a ray of hope for consumers. Kennedy directed the FDA in March 2025 to explore rulemaking to eliminate the self-affirmed GRAS process, which allows food companies to introduce ingredients without FDA oversight. This loophole has been criticized for permitting potentially unsafe chemicals into the food supply, with nearly 99% of new food chemicals since 2000 approved by the industry rather than the FDA. While no specific ingredients have been banned yet, through this initiative, it aims to increase transparency and safety by requiring the FDA to review any new ingredient. His push to eliminate the self-affirmed GRAS pathway aims to require mandatory FDA notification and review, ensuring all new ingredients, are vetted before reaching the market. In short, the GRAS loophole is a regulatory gap that lets companies bypass federal scrutiny, and it's now a focal point in efforts to reform the U.S. food safety system. But many Americans no longer trust the FDA or USDA to have their best interests at heart, rather than the interests of the commercial food industry, big pharma, and big ag, who are often owned by the same parent companies and work together on new products and the re-engineering of existing products. In the meantime, there's still a conservative estimate of 1,000 potentially harmful substances in American foods. We'll take a short break, and then when we come back, you'll learn how to read the food package labels like a pro. Before we cover the next topic in this episode, I want to introduce you to the adventure sports lifestyle with what I like to call a micro-story about an adventure that I've had. The adventure sports lifestyle and my deep connection to nature is essential to my good health. So here's the story. Sitting in my childhood bedroom in Queens, New York, I wondered what seeing a bear in its natural habitat would be like. As an adult, while hiking to the lower saddle of the Grand Tetons in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, I casually encountered adult grizzly bears and their cubs at nearly every switchback. I did that. I hope this inspires you to get outside and adventure alone, with friends, or the people you love most. Now back to the show where we're discussing how to read food labels like a pro. Reading labels like a pro takes effort, but every aspect of your life and the lives of the people you love will change for the better when you remove these harmful substances out of their bodies. Don't just trust the ingredients list on a package. It's not the full story. Scan the front and sides of the package for sneaky clues, like natural flavors might hide MSG, which can spark headaches. Color added could mean artificial dyes that are messing with your kid's ability to focus. The CDC advises reading labels helps you make healthier choices, but you've got to be a detective. Look everywhere on the package. Here's the list of 12 nasty ingredients to avoid, how they might show up, and what they could do to your body or your child's body. You can get instant access to the Dirty Dozen ingredients list using the link in the show description where you can download it, or you can get it on our website, nnbl.blog, where you can sign up for our newsletter. Download the list, save it to your phone, and breeze through shopping like a pro. Number 1 on our Dirty Dozen ingredients to avoid is potassium bromate. On the package, it might look as bromated flour or hidden in enriched flour. Bromated flour and enriched flour is potassium bromate. Here are the harmful effects of potassium bromate. This chemical can form tumors in your kidneys or thyroid, raising cancer risk. It's so dangerous that Europe banned it, but it's still in U.S. breads. Kids might face growth issues from long-term exposure. Banned in Europe, it strengthens dough but weakens your health. Red dye number 3. On package, you might see erythrocene or color added. The harmful effects of red dye number 3 are linked to thyroid cancer in animal studies. It might also make kids hyperactive or unfocused. Canada said no, but it's in U.S. candies and desserts, dyeing your food and maybe your health red, a bright color with a dark side. BHA or BHT, butylated hydroxyanisole or butylated hydroxytoluene on package. Preservatives or initials BHA or BHT. The harmful effects of BHA or BHT, these can mess with your hormones, confuse your body's signals, and possibly damage your liver. Some studies call them possible carcinogens or cancer causers. They're in snacks to keep them fresh, but they might keep you sick. Europe limits them, we don't in America. Propylparaben on package, it might just say preservative or not be listed at all. Propylparaben might not be listed on anywhere on the package. The harmful effects, this can disrupt your reproductive system, lowering sperm count or affecting pregnancies. It mimics estrogen, throwing hormones out of whack. It's banned in the European Union. It's in U.S. baked goods and more. It keeps foods fresh, but not your body. Next is titanium dioxide. On the package, it might say whitener or color. The harmful effects may damage your DNA, leading to cell chaos or inflammation. And we know inflammation is linked to heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disease, and several forms of cancer. You can learn more about chronic inflammation in our episode on lymphedema and in our episode on glutathione. Titanium oxide is in the candies and gum, making them bright white while possibly darkening your health. The European Union banned it in 2022. The US hasn't caught up yet. The next on our list is azodicarbonamide. I'm going to get this right. Azodicarbonamide, ADA. On package, it says dough conditioner. The harmful effects are that it breaks down into chemicals that might trigger asthma or allergies. It's often used in yoga mats too. It's banned in Canada but sneaks into the US in buns and rolls. Breathing issues could hit kids hard. Fluffy bread, wheezy lungs. We'll continue with number 7 on the list after this short break. World events are constantly teaching everyone some very painful lessons. Without warning, everything we take for granted can suddenly fail. And if you're not prepared in advance, you really don't have a chance. The fact is, the modern world runs on a just-in-time supply schedule. Even the biggest grocery stores can carry only enough food for a few days' worth of normal shopping. So when disaster strikes and chaos ensues at your local stores, the odds are simply against you. If you don't have emergency food and gear stockpiled in advance, you will probably suffer. My partner, Ready Hour, is here to help you ahead of time. Ready Hour has a long history of providing calorie-rich, reliable, and delicious nourishment for life's unexpected situations, and critical emergency gear too. They're part of a family of companies that have served millions of people like you for decades. My family and I use Ready Hour products for camping, mountaineering, and disaster preparedness for 5 years now. They're not just reliable, they're also your affordable option too. Long-term survival food shouldn't break the bank. That's why they have great sales and payment options for you. It's your bridge to safety and survival when things just aren't normal anymore. So make your next decision your smartest decision. Be ready for tomorrow, today. Trust Ready Hour. Ready to shop? Use my affiliate link in the show description. Brominated vegetable oil, BVO, on package, it's emulsifier or it's not listed at all. The harmful effects builds up in your body, possibly causing nerve problems or memory loss. It's in sodas to mix flavors, but it's banned in Europe. Kids developing brains are extra vulnerable. Fizzy drinks, foggy minds. Next is Olestra. On the package, fat substitute. The harmful effects of Olestra causes stomach cramps, diarrhea, and blocks vitamin absorption. It's banned in Canada. It's in some U.S. light chips and other foods. I personally avoid anything with the word light on the package. Light often has harmful chemicals, sugar substitutes that cause migraines, and growth hormones hidden in its ingredients. Consuming Olestra means your kids might miss out on nutrients they need to grow and that you need to stay healthy and prevent disease. Fake fat, real pain. Carrageenan. On the package, you might see thickener. Carrageenan's harmful effects sparks gut inflammation, possibly leading to ulcers or colon issues. Europe limits it, but it's in U.S. dairy and plant milks, like some almond milk and soy products. Kids and adults with sensitive stomachs could feel it most. It has a smooth texture, but it's rough on digestion. Sodium nitrate. On the package, curing agent. The harmful effects of sodium nitrate is that it forms cancer-causing compounds in your stomach, raising risk for colon or stomach cancer. It's found in bacon and hot dogs. Europe restricts it. Kids eating processed meats could face bigger dangers. Cured meat, uncured health. Number 11 is artificial trans fats. On the package, you might see partially hydrogenated oil. The harmful effects of artificial trans fats is that it clogs arteries, boosting heart disease risk. Linked to 7,000 U.S. deaths yearly, says the CDC. It's in fried foods and baked goods. Kids' hearts aren't built for this junk, and neither is yours. Crispy snacks, crumbling hearts. Number 12 on our food villain list is MSG, monosodium glutamate. On the package, you might see MSG, monosodium glutamate, flavor enhancer, or get this, natural flavors. If I see natural flavors on any package, I avoid it like it's the plague. The harmful effects of MSG is that it overstimulates brain cells, and for a traumatic brain injury survivor like myself, it causes havoc in my body. It causes extreme headaches, even temporary vision loss because of ocular migraines. It causes dizziness or even long-term nerve damage in anyone, not just TBI survivors. You can find MSG in soups, a lot of takeout foods, and chips, and it hits kids' focus and mood hard. It's tasty now, but troubled later. So, what's at stake when you consume these harmful ingredients that we've just listed for you? These food villains hide in ultra-processed foods, chips, sodas, even so-called healthy snacks. The FDA's Dr. Susan Main admits we're reassessing chemicals, but it's slow. Meanwhile, your family's at risk. Kids and folks with an underlying health condition are extra sensitive. Dyes and preservatives that can spark behavior issues, according to a 2021 California study. The stakes? Cancer, hormone chaos, and more. Here's your call to action. Take control now. Check your pantry for these dirty dozen culprits and toss them out. Share this with friends and family to keep them safe too. Download this list and take it shopping with you. If you're getting value from this content, leave us a review wherever you get your podcast to make it easier for others to find us. Until next time, friends, I'm Antoinette Lee, your wellness warrior here at the New Normal Big Life podcast. I hope one day to see you on the river, in the backcountry, or in the horse barn living your best life. Tag New Normal Big Life or NNBL blog on X so we can celebrate your good health and big life. If you're a visual learner, you can watch an informative and entertaining version of this video in the future on YouTube on the New Normal Big Life channel. Share this episode with someone who needs it. Comment or post it on our posts on X and drop us a message or email. Nothing personal or too specific when you have a health or adventure sports topic you want us to cover, and support others in this community. Since 2012, the Health Ranger store has been answering your calls for a trustworthy, responsive, and affordable source of health-focused products. Built from scratch with its own US-based fulfillment center and dedicated in-house customer support, they've got you covered. From nutritional supplements and superfoods to storable foods and preparedness gear, they offer competitive prices on top-quality, lab-tested items. I'm excited to partner with the Health Ranger store to bring you the purest, most reliable products out there. Ready to shop? Use my affiliate link to get started.